Hey Sajeev, how you doing, mate?
Hi Jason, I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm hoping people will really appreciate it like you did when you watched it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, well, let's just jump straight in. Why don't you tell us our story? Tell us your story.
Okay, so I'm actually a football player and I've been training hard since the past 3 years. But I guess in the last 1 year, I started noticing some pain in my groin. And at first, it was like nothing. I felt like I could shake it off for 3 4 days, take a bit rest, and I can jump back. And it was good actually. I could play again, but it was like a what do you say? In back of my head I could just feel that groin still going on, that slight pain kind of thing. And I just kept ignoring it, and after a month or two I started getting pain in my lower abdomen. And it was initially like after training for 10 15 minutes, and I kept ignoring that as well. Then the pain started growing more and more and more, and it was like constant. It was as if like someone was stabbing me in my abdomen. The pain was very bad, and that's when it was about 3 4 months I think with the pain I played. And after that I decided to take a rest, and that's when the pain got even worse after rest. Yeah, and the pain was 24/7, and it just didn't go at all. And initially I went to few physiotherapists, and they were like, no, it's just a muscle strain, and they gave some muscle relaxant medicines and all that. And they told you have to take at least 2 to 3 months rest. And I did, and but the pain was still there, and I was doing my own massaging and all that, but still the pain was still there. And after a while, I guess what do you call that treatment with that? Mm, it's a physiotherapy treatment, right? With the machine you do with that.
Oh, like the electrical, like it zaps you.
Not that one. They put some cream and it produces some heat, right? Heat waves.
Oh, ultrasound.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did that, and the pain kind of reduced a bit, but it was still there. And really not knowing what to do, I was on the internet, obsessed, searching for what my this thing was. I think till 6 months, I didn't know what I had. It was come somewhere between lower abdomen, muscle tear, self imagination, and groin pain. And then I found your video on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is Osteitis Pubis and how to fix it and all. I was like, okay, let me check this out. And you had some tests, I think, right? When one of the videos, how to know if you have Osteitis Pubis, and I did all, and I got positive for all three. I was like, shit, this is what I have. And then just to get it confirmed, I did an MRI scan, and yeah, they gave me the report that I had Osteitis Pubis. And I guess that's when I emailed you first, asking, this is my situation, and do you have any insight or advice on this? Yeah,
Mm.
I think it was about 7 or 7.5 months after my injury, actually. So,
It's such a horrible experience to have to wait that long to find out like what you have. Like it's hard for me to imagine. Like my own personal story, I had lower back pain, but you kind of know what it is at least. Like it's weird, but it's like I have lower back pain. It's like a word. You didn't even get a diagnosis for 7 months. That must have just made you crazy.
actually, the first doctor I still remember is very funny. He's actually a normal doctor, and but by that time I knew this pain was not a like a small thing. I knew in my head this was a big thing.
Mm.
But I went to that physiotherapist, and he was like, he actually first 2 months it was more pain in my lower abdomen, right?
Mm.
So they were basically checking for some hernia or something like that. Yeah, so he just checked it and he's like, yeah, it's nothing. Just take two Dolo. I guess it's called ibuprofen or something in yours.
Yeah.
Just take two of them and you'll be fine in just 3 4 days. He's like, I was laughing. This is not gonna reduce so much. He's like, yeah, it will, it will. Now we just think back. It's been a year. That I never met him again.
Well, ibuprofen's magic, right? You just take it, works, done. No more OP.
Yeah.
So we had kind of an interesting kind of journey together because so you emailed me, we emailed back and forward a little bit. I answered a bunch of questions, and then there was like a big gap before we kind of started thing. What were you doing in between that time, and what was going through your head as you were trying to figure out whether you wanted to do this online and things like that?
Yeah, at that time, you had only one channel, I think, that SUPT one,
Mm-hmm.
in which they had 2, 3 Osteitis Pubis videos. And then when I emailed you, you were really kind enough to give me all the 10 stages. Here it is, but you can just try it if you want and all. And I just thought I would give it a try because you really have to be very desperate to take, people who come to you. They'll be like the last resort, like this is do or die. After this, there's nothing more. And I was like, okay, let me give it a try before I go to Jason. And in between, yeah, I was trying your stage 1 and 2, and I was failing miserably. But yeah, at the same time, I was trying to find out more, other links, resources. It was kind of like an obsession for me. But yeah, finally, after 2 months also the pain was still same, and I started running a bit, and the groin pain got even worse. And that's when I decided, like, no, I have to go to Jason now. There's no other option for me. And luckily, I think at that time you started that Osteitis Pubis Clinic channel.
Yeah.
And the way you explain all how it actually is and how you're going to treat, and I was like, yeah, this is the guy. He knows how to do it. And I thought, let's just go for it.
Awesome. Okay, so we jump in, we get started, and we kind of have our first session and stuff, and I'm having like look at your technique, and I'm changing stuff. What's like obviously there's so much information I'm throwing at you. What's going through your head as you're kind of starting, and then all this stuff's getting thrown at you?
By that time, I guess I was kind of used to it because I was searching the internet day and night for actually what my injury was and what is this and all that. And it was still a lot, but it was good. It was a lot of information, but it made sense actually how you get osteitis pubis and the things that you explained, that like your groin pain and your abdomen, these things happen, and I could relate to them, like at least 70% of them. So it was kind of interesting, and it was at least like a sign of relief that someone knows what I have and he's saying that he can treat. So it was a good and kind of okay thing.
So the one I always found, so we started together, we started deadlifting, right? And I was like, okay, you're gonna need to, like, you're an athlete, you're gonna need to deadlift, your body weight at least and stuff like that. And then you started, right? And you were deadlifting. Did you think you'd get there when you first started and you were first doing your first deadlifts?
Initially, that I have never done deadlifts before, but after that, I think the first session at the end you said you have to go at least like 80 kilos. I was like shocked. I thought, oh my God, can I do it? And the main thing is going back to lifting weights with the injury and all. I was like having a second doubt, what is this going to do to my body? And you have a pain for such a long time, you feel doing anything out of your this thing comfort zone, you feel like you can get pain again. But then, yeah, but you explained the proper technique and everything, and it was good. The first week, I think I got 40 or 50 kgs, right? Yeah. Yeah. After that, good progress. Well, yeah.
And like it's not necessary. Not everyone who has OP kind of needs to do that. That's not absolutely necessary. But I know you being an athlete and wanting to be an elite level athlete, it was kind of like, for me, it was like, well, you're going to be throwing your body into these incredible situations when you're playing, and you're going to be moving at high speeds. And it was like, well, you need to be able to do that. That's just got to be a baseline, right? And it's incredible, right? Because you go from not lifting any weights to you go into the gym and you're already halfway there. And it's like, oh yeah, your body's, it's not as broken as you think it is once you feel like like you've got an idea of what you're doing. And straight away, it's like, oh yeah, I got 50 kilos up. That wasn't that bad. Whilst before, when you're scared and you don't know what's going on, it seems like this impossible mountain. It's like the minute you know what you're doing, it's like, all right, cool, I can do this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
by that time, we were in stage 8 or something. I was just remembering, trying to see that, yeah, now I'm able to do, I guess, 100 kg deadlift, but I still can't run sideways. I was like, the body is so, different. Certain things you can do and certain you can't.
it's incredible. It's incredible, right? Because it's like, yeah, there's 100 kilos. I just lifted another version of myself, but you're not ready to step sideways. It's like where's the logic in that, right?
Yeah.
And it's what makes OP so interesting as well, because most OP are good athletes. Like, they're strong, but there's just this one thing they do that breaks them. And unwinding that just takes so much work. But yeah, it's the body it's what keeps me going at the very least. Okay, so we jump in, right? We start doing our sessions, and there's like 75 details to each exercise, right? How did you find that process? Because I was always just shocked at how, I guess the word would be clinically, you were able to go about fixing. So you would send a video in with a bunch of issues. I would point them out, and you would just like methodically break those down and correct them in a really just fundamental way. So by the next video, it was fixed and there wasn't an issue. Like, take people through your process. Like, what enabled you to be so successful in so much as going, oh, there are my mistakes, Jason's pointing them out, now I'm going to fix them. Like, what did you do? How did you go about doing that?
I guess most of it comes down because of my dream and ambition to become a football player. And I had that thing that, this is my last shot and I have to give everything I have. And I was practically doing all this exercise for 3 to 4 hours a day, and trying to fix them, and going back to the videos and checking what the instructions were clearly and all. And even you were explaining very well in the email, and we are talking back and forth, right? Certain exercise, the most which I struggled was with the slam ball one, but the rest I think I could grasp pretty easily. But they were tough, they're not that easy also. But yeah, the instructions and all, they were very good, very clear, and I guess I worked really hard for it.
No, I completely and utterly agree. So to put things in perspective, obviously Sajeev's from India, and so slam balls aren't cheap there for whatever reason. You've got one now. You've got a proper one, right?
I got a 10 kg one, the middle one.
Yeah. But before that, right, Sajeev made his own slam ball.
Yeah.
I sent him a link out of what did you do? It was like a soccer ball and like glue and like a duct tape, right?
Yeah, I had a few soccer balls which I hadn't used in over a year, so I thought, what the hell, let me at least make my own slam ball. And I went to some park and I filled sand with it, and I saw you sent me a video, I guess, a tutorial how to make it. Yeah, I just followed that, but none of them lasted for more than 3 or 4 days.
That's because you used them that much, and I was very proud. I just remember you had two when we had our session, and one was full, was leaking sand, and the other one was fine, but the one that was fine was the heavier one. Yeah, so you had to practice and learn all the exercises of the 10 kilo one, because the 6 kilo one is broken.
Yeah, the sand was falling all over me.
Oh, and then your grandma always wanted to because your balcony's right there, right? Your grandma always wanted to walk through to go to the balcony.
She really loved to interrupt.
All right, so you were jumping in. You were going really, really strong, right? And so when you mentioned moving sideways and how that was kind of a departure, kind of talk people through that idea of how you can be really strong at one thing and then move on to another exercise, and just how if you can just struggle so much. Kind of there was you were good, then we got to the twisting rotation exercises. You started to feel your pubic area again and stuff like that. Take people through that process and how you were able to get through that.
During the whole treatment stage, I thought it would be easy, every stage would be not much painful and all. But at first, because the certain exercises like deadlift, bodyweight, squat and all, they were good. I was able to progress a bit easily. And then came the twisting and all that. And that's when the part which was most affected for me, the lower abdomen and pelvic floor, those started screaming, right? This is, you can't do this, your body is in pain and all. And you were telling me, right, the body is completely different, and how you can do certain things and certain things you can't. And I was just still new, because I was just a complete player. I didn't have any knowledge about body and all. I was coming to know all these things, like certain things you can do if your muscles are working fine, and if they don't, other muscles incorporate in and they take over, right, to help your body. And yeah, that's when I was kind of laughing at myself, because I'm able to do 100 kg deadlift, and running sideways felt like such a pain, and what the hell is this? But that's how the body works. And for some people, some parts are affected more, right? I guess for me, the pelvic floor was affected more, so I couldn't run sideways and all. Yeah.
And so then how did it feel as you got through those stages and you were able to just like, it's funny because I always tell people, I was like, everything will go great and you will hit a wall. Everyone hits a wall at a different point depending on where their weaknesses and where their strengths are. What was it like once you were able to finally like nail those slam balls and finally able to really get those rotations down really good?
It was great actually. It was an amazing feeling, and that mind when it gets clear of the pain, right? After 8 months of constant pain, and one day you wake up and you don't feel pain anymore. That's just amazing feeling.
So I remember like what's it called? You sent me a I should have dug it up. You sent me a video of you doing box jumps. And I watched that video and was like, how are you doing that so fast? Like you were just like off the box on the box. I actually took that video and I watched it personally and I changed my technique to do it faster. Figured out what you were doing to do it faster because you were turning in the air better and then you were pushing into the ground quicker as well. And what I always just found so amazing about that is like there was this like incredible athlete, like gifted athlete hidden behind like all these injuries and stuff like that. And so when you sort of like started to feel like that coming back for you and we started to do running and stuff like that and we were pushing you and things like that. What was it like, I guess, having spent so long kind of running with an injury and stuff, like how were you able to get your body to trust itself again, like you weren't going to hurt yourself? Like I remember you sent me an email being like, my foot's wobbling, and I sent you a video back of Usain Bolt going, oh no, that's good, like that's normal. Like how were you able to get your body to trust itself again?
Initially, you can't trust it because after so much pain, you feel anything you do, you get that pain again. But then you told me, actually I believed you, you told me to trust it, and you said that the pain, until you know the pain, you won't know how to fix and where exactly the problem is. So I took it as that way and I did like, let's see where, and it was kind of like the more mistakes I do in my body, the better, right? Because we are going to fix it anyway. And yeah, because I've been paying 24/7 for 8 months or so. I was like, what the hell, let me just take a little more, and trusted it, and I did few and it was good. Sometimes I got it more pain, sometimes it was decent, and yeah.
And I think that's such an important thing, which is like, you don't know what's going to happen on the field when you're pushing yourself. You don't know what's going to happen in the game. You don't have any control. You want to win, so you're going to do whatever it takes, right? So you want to push yourself and you want to put your body in difficult situations when you have control, when you know what you're going to do, right? And like I remember like you were struggling. So people who don't know, there's these workout challenges at the end of the program, towards the end, where I basically get people to go, look, you're going to have to smash yourself and you're going to do these exercises till you're so fatigued that if you make a mistake, you'll know straight away. And so you'll develop a discipline to keep good stamina in the middle of a game. And I can just remember like you emailing me being like, how the hell am I going like that? It took me 30 minutes. I'm never going to get that under 20 minutes. And then like 2 weeks later, you're like, yeah, got it. Yeah. Just improved it by 30%. And it was kind of like, you're just like, yeah, that was fine. I was always shocked at how you were able to be like, wow, this is really hard, and you would start here, and then you would just so quickly get yourself to there within a really short period of time. Like the discipline you must have had to apply would have been incredible, because you made so many dramatic changes in such a short period of time. And to put things in perspective, Sajeev is the fastest to finish the program. Obviously, because he, like me, probably has a little bit of OCD, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so putting yourself back in the place that you were in like 8 months ago, and putting yourself into other people who are in this state at the moment, kind of thing. Like, what is your message to them? What's your advice to them in terms of like thinking about starting this program, but even just what it takes to get better and everything?
From my experience, I think and you usually think twice. Even I had to think twice, before coming to you. Like, can you really do it in Skype? This injury has been for me. I think it's been a less, which I used to think more a year, but I've seen now people suffering from obesity 3 years and 5 years and 6 years, and still, People think twice before, a man somewhere thousands of kilometers away over Skype, can he really do it? But you have to take that leap of faith, and mostly I see that it's like the desperation act. The last, you have nothing else to do. You have to just go for it, and I guess, yeah, that's the thing. You have to just take the leap of faith and just try everything you can, but it's good.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking this time, Sajeev. And it was really fun doing it. And just seeing how you were able to like really get strong and stuff. And I remember at the start you were like, "Oh, I want to be on one of these videos." So it's really awesome that we were able to do it and get here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was still looking forward to one of these
Oh,
videos.
wait! Before you jump off, tell people what you're doing at the moment. Tell them how much you're playing and how much you're training. Sajeev is doing some pretty insane stuff on the field at the moment. Go! Tell
Yeah.
people where you're at.
I think it's been about 3 or 4 weeks. I started playing intense, and I'm able to play a complete 90 minutes game, competitive, and there's no pain or anything, and it's good. And I can just feel legs sore, which is usual, but as in my body and all, it feels very good, and I hope this continues forever, and I can achieve my dream.
Well, more importantly is that you know what to do to keep it going
Yeah.
forever. Tell people how much you're training. 'Cause to me, like the games are good, right? But the training is what really is like I'm really happy about. Tell people how much you're training at the moment.
At the moment, I train for I think 6 hours a day right now. Morning 3 and the evening I guess 1 hour and 1 hour in the gym.
Oh, that is insane. That is a full-time workout, full-time schedule. No, that's what makes me happy is that you don't have to even think. You just go out there and do it. That's more impressive than the games because that's a lot of work put through your body, and that's just awesome.
Yeah.
But no, thank you so much again for doing that and for doing this. And yeah, hopefully anyone who's watching this, hopefully you can take a lot out of it. I think Sajeev is the perfect example of someone who just kicked OP's ass.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, mate.
All right. Thank you.
Hey there. That video was probably really complicated. OP is really complicated. So why don't you let me explain it to you in person? Book in for a free 20-minute Skype consult. I can assess you, tell you what OP is, you can ask me as many questions as you like, we can go into detail about the Skype process and how it works, and we can start working on the things that you need to do to fix your OP and get back to your life. So please, book in for a free session, it's completely obligation free, and let's get started.